Today I'm going to teach you how you can find your purpose in life no matter your age, and subsequently I'm going to teach you a method that you can use to kick yourself in the ass to actually do what you really want. So the first method on finding out what your purpose is in life is really important, actually, because if you are using a lot of energy to obtain and do things that you don't really want, which is not what you're meant for, you're not meant to be doing in life, then you are wasting your energy and you won't really be happy, and in the end you won't succeed either, because you're actually going to succeed only when you are doing what you're destined for, what your purpose in life is, and have to sort of download that. But there are methods that you can use to find out, because it's pretty hard. So I'm going to share with you 3 methods that I have been using to find what my purpose in life is. And one of them is to identify what makes you angry. What makes you really angry, and just notice that. When you feel angry or irritated, just notice what is it that you're irritated about, and just don't stop by, the person or that situation. Try to analyze it and find out what is it with this type of people or this type of situations that annoy you. Because then you can find the core of what you need to fight to remove from this planet, or how you can help people, that experience the same frustration as yourself. So that's one very useful method to use. Another one is, who do you really admire? Who do you really you look up to them? You like to be around them. The things that they do are so amazing to you. And this is a little bit related to the third method, which is about who you're jealous of. Like, if you're aware of it or not, who is it that sometimes maybe if you admire somebody, you can also be jealous of them. Or sometimes just jealousy is an indication because they have something that you would like to have. And jealousy is a little bit defensive because you're not planning to do anything about it. You're just gonna moan and complain. But if you start to analyze that feeling of jealousy, then you're gonna get closer to what you really want. So this is a long process, and there are methods that you can use through meditation, journaling, and other methods. Like, you should sit down and really put some time into this, like some silent time where you're alone and try to contemplate your feelings to find out. When you start finding out more and more, then it's time to kick yourself in the ass. So I have this method it's a method involving 2 people, or you can do it in a group. And I think I need my glasses. And this is an exercise where you work 2 by 2. I'm just going to explain it, and it's available to you if you're interested. It's just to contact me. But I'll just go through the method of how you can kick yourself in the ass to actually do what you were meant for. So the first task is to write down 5 sentences describing who you are in the form of I am, or I am the type that. For example, I am the type that never eats meat. I am the type that goes to yoga. I am the type that eats taco on Fridays. I am a people pleaser, etc. And then you go on to write down 5 sentences describing who you're not in the form of I'm not the type that I'm not the skinny type. I'm not the intellectual type. I'm not a public speaker, for example. So then you put that aside, and then you're gonna start with a new sheet and note down what is the activity or skill that you always wanted to do or acquire, but you never had the time because life came in the way. So you now write down 5 things you always wanted to do in the form I always wanted to, for example, I always wanted to write a book. I always saw myself as an artist. I always wanted to be a screenplay actor. So 5 things you always wanted. And then when you have those 5 things, you're going to rate them on a scale from 1 to 10. How important are the 10 activities or skills you wrote down? So you make a table with 2 columns, and now you have a list with things you always wanted to do, and then you scale them. Which activities are the most important? And then you start, you find a new sheet and write down the reasons why you were not able to act on the activities in the previous sheets. 5 reasons you have given to yourself for not doing the activity or acquiring the skills that you always wanted to master on the form. For example, I never had enough money to do this. I was never brave enough. I never had the brains to do this. And then again, on a scale from 1 to 10, to what extent do you think these arguments, all these arguments that I put down, to what extent are these still valid now, where you're at in life now? 10 is the most valid. And so you find a new sheet, and now you have arguments for why you couldn't do the things that you always wanted to do. And these arguments can be pretty general. For example, I was never brave enough, I was never rich enough, etc. So now you're going to describe these arguments that are more general, more in detail. What does it really mean that you're not brave enough? Does it mean that you are terrified what people would think of you if you started doing the activity or skill that you would like? Does it mean that you feel like a loser if you discover that you were not good at this? Does it mean that you do not, under any circumstance, think that you could secure a proper income if you would follow through on this? Does it mean that you would judge yourself for not being a good family person? Yeah. So like you try to be more specific on what these general arguments, what lies behind these general arguments. So now you can find now you have general arguments and you have more specific arguments explaining what that general arguments really means. And so if you go back to your first sheet and where you sort of described what type of person you were, then to match that description to those arguments. And then now you have a narrative of your person matching your type with the arguments explaining why you behave like you do. And so to your partner, you say it out loud to your partner. So you said the general argument, the more specific arguments explaining what lies behind that general argument, and then you say, I am the type that you previously described. And so you can now put everything together. You have 5 things you always wanted. You have arguments explaining why you never acted on those things, and sentences describing what lies behind those more general arguments. And then you have the statement, I about who you are, like that you started with initially. And so in the end, now you are like you're with a partner, and you can imagine your partner being Oprah Winfrey, and that you are on her show Super Soul Sunday, and you come there to defend why you didn't act on your dream. How can you convince Oprah? And what questions would Oprah ask you on her show, using her experiences and her philosophies on being true to yourself and acting on it? So you can make a 5th column with Oprah's arguments. And then you have a 5-column table with 5 things you always wanted, arguments explaining why you never acted on them, and then sentences detailing what that really means. And then, the statement about who you are, and then questions that Oprah asks you on her show. So this is a way of questioning your own narratives about your own person and what is possible and what is not possible. And maybe this method can help you start to question the reasons that you give yourself for why you can do what you really want, because maybe they're just excuses. Maybe you're really afraid to try something new, and it's very comfortable not to try to do what you maybe could make you really happy, and it could move you more towards what you're destined for in life. And so I wish you luck with this method. And if it was hard to understand, then if you would like me to organize a webinar about it, or if you want some more resources that will explain better, please contact me or send me a message or whatever. And please subscribe. Thank you. Bye.